So I want to give an update video about addresses and how they're working for people who are opening up LLCs and US bank accounts. If you are a non-resident and you want to have US bank accounts, both online banks, physical banks, I'm going to tell you what addresses are working, what aren't working, what we're doing to help our clients, and what you should do if you want to open US accounts to get more clients in the US, keep your money and spend it in US dollars and pay no taxes, all of that stuff. So I'm going to talk about that in this video. So currently what happens for most people, if you go to Doola, if you go to LegalZoom or Busy or whatever, and you open an LLC, they're going to give you a mail forwarding address or a registered agent address. And these are CMRAs, or just everyone knows them, everyone has them. Because you can open an LLC for free with Busy when you use their address, there's a lot of people who've used that address. Therefore, these addresses get no respect from the banks, the online banks or the in-person banks. So that's really the biggest issue with the online LLC service creators. And I have videos on 5 ways to get a US address. To run through those really quickly, you have address services like Anytime Mailbox, which has a number of addresses. There's a number of different aggregate services like that. But again, many people use those. You can use a friend or a family member in the US. The problem with these is their personal addresses, not business addresses. So if you want to use it for a company, it's going to be shown on the state website as your company address, and it's not going to help. It'll work for getting a business address though, but you have to have a friend or family member who's willing to let you use their address for your business. But if you can, that will definitely work. Number 3 is going to be hire someone like me to give you an address. So what we've been doing for our clients is I'm just renting offices all over Miami, in Texas, in Colorado, in different states where I have offices or people who work for me. We open these addresses. We let clients use them as subsuites, and we can use it for like 30, 40, 50 clients even that can use this address while it's still considered by the banks to be a real physical address. It is a real office, and it is an address that works for our clients. Ultimately, if someone signs up to work with us and we give them an address and we can't get bank accounts open, we'll use a different address. We're constantly renting offices and we're constantly getting addresses for our clients because ultimately, at the end of the day, I want you to be able to have a company and a bank account and stuff so you can do your business, and then we'll do all the compliance stuff at the end. So that's the whole point of the service, and that's how we've been helping our clients. And that's why I think we have a better service than anyone out there. Just to give myself a quick advertisement for myself, so many other companies are charging for tax compliance, for ITINs, for LLCs, for addresses, for advice. We do it all in one package at a monthly cost if you want to do it monthly, and you can even work directly with me on the Plus package, which I think has been very helpful for a number of our clients who have questions, who have concerns about the taxes, who don't know how things work, and we can set up strategies for people. So in terms of how you structure your entities, maybe you have offshore real estate, maybe you have relationships with other business holdings or other US addresses, and you want to get that stuff set up the right way. I love going over that stuff with my clients. So that's what we're doing with addresses. Right now, if you're using a Busy or using LegalZoom or Doola and using one of their addresses, the only real option you have is going to be Mercury. Mercury is not a bank, but Mercury works. It's still great. It's still a great option. But if you get turned down by Mercury, you're not going to be able to open Wise. Wise has been super difficult with verifying addresses. They did open USD accounts again. They don't have cards still, but you can get a Wise account with a real address. And that's why we have a lot of clients who contact us who want to keep their Wise account, who need an address. RelayFi, which is the bank I use, they need you to have an actual address. You can't use a registered agent address if you're a foreign person. Revolut would work. I just opened up an account. I think I got my Revolut card. I got my Revolut card right here. I don't like it because I can't remember my PIN ever, so I can't set my PIN. And then so many other online banks. RHO would work with a real address. I just set them up, and I met with the guys at their bank, and they have some. If you put $300,000 in the bank, they give you a really fancy mattress topper, which is like a funny bank perk. So you can do something like that with RHO. I'll do a video about them later, but it was kind of complicated to open up. And then in-person banks. So when you fly to the US to open bank accounts, it's really helpful to have an address there. So transitioning over to that, and I haven't talked about that yet. If you want to open personal bank accounts in the US, you really do need to have a residential address in the US. So that would be a family member or a friend. And that's I think less intrusive than using a family member for a business address, because it's not going to be listed anywhere online. It's just going to be with the bank. Your debit card's going to go with them. I always tell clients that if you want to use a family member, what you should do is buy them a really nice basket and send it to their house, and then say, hey, I got you this beautiful basket. I think it'll look great in your house. Also, if you get any mail from me, put it in the basket. And then where they won't have to think about it, and they'll just remember this beautiful basket every time you get a mail from them. So that's what I tell clients to do all the time, and it works out because a lot of people know somebody in the U.S. Unfortunately, that's not something where I can just rent apartments and use it for 4 people. The math doesn't work out for me to do it that way. But if you don't really need a personal account, at the end of the day, the LLC works great. We can use LLC accounts. We have more options for accounts because Mercury doesn't really do personal accounts. Relay doesn't do them. There are other personal banks that are online banks, but they only really work for Americans. So if you are interested in opening U.S. bank accounts but are struggling with an address, definitely schedule a free call with the team. They can outline the options of what kind of addresses we have, what options we have. If you need help with filing or anything, other things like that, you can go to jamesbakercpa.com/schedule and schedule a free call with the team, or you can pay for a call with me. I'd love to speak with you and give you ideas and understanding and insights onto your international structure as it relates to the U.S. I am a U.S. CPA. Thanks for being here. See you on the next one.